So if you are a sudser that's been around for a while, you would know that I do this thing at the end of every year and then carry this box on for as long as supplies last, really. And that thing is called 12 months of soap. So at the end of every year, which is around now, I sort of take a look at the year and what has occurred in my life, in the world's life, in all of the live lives, the things that I've been drawn to, the scents that I have loved, and the themes that I've been really into. And I build a new 12 bar pack that I call 12 months of soap. And during 10 days of thanks, which are the 10 days leading up to Thanksgiving, to celebrate the anniversary of soap and clay becoming a thing, I give away 10 items every day for 10 days. And one of those 10 things on those 10 days is the 12 months of soap gift set. I'm telling you all of this because we're starting said gift set today, and I'm very, very excited to talk about my thought process with all of this and the first bar that we're going with. But again, you can read, and it only makes sense that we would start with January, but I'll tell you more about the January bar in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 152 of 365 days of soap. And as I said, today we are starting the 12 months of soap set, and we are starting with January. Now, what I wanted to do with the January bar is create like a really icy cold blue gradient, ombrient. I'm never going to remember those words, but I'm pretty sure gradient is the right one today. From kind of icy blue at the bottom and then continuing up the bar to get white. And then I'm going to put what will hopefully look like some sprigs of like trees, branches, kind of, I don't know, half an inch down on the bar. And then some little melt and pour toppers that sort of look like acorns. Now, my reason for that is because January is cold as shit. And I am always bummed in January because it's so icy and so blue or gray where I live, and no new holidays to look forward to for a while. And so it's cold and all the trees are bare and you have pine cones everywhere and it's all a thing. And so because I'm putting like tree branch looking things in all of it, this is going to be scented with a tree scent. And I'm pretty sure the one that I'm using is Frosted Fir, because I did so in the Christmas line and I actually liked it quite a bit. There's no discoloration notes with any of this, and so that's another big bonus for using it, because a lot of the ones that I have right now, like a balsam and cedar from Nature's Garden and probably 5 others that I'm forgetting, it does discolor. And since I'm going with such a light blue pattern, moving to white, I really want none discoloration. So let's go to the video. We can see how I did and how all the things did. You don't know. So you want to know what's crazy weird? Hold on. Let me get closer to the microphone so you can hear me talk about crazy weird. This design, Frosted Fir, Brambleberry. We're going to go with Aphrodite from Mad Micas and Magic Beans for the embeds. Now the embeds I made out of melt and pour with this one lonely mold that is like, well, it looks like a feather, really. And so I would just pour into it and then cut it each of the feathers in half. So it kind of looks like a tree branch. It took a really long time to make those. And so already I am second guessing my decisions for this particular bar because I show you like making a 12 bar batch, right? But I have to make hundreds of each of these soaps off camera. I just don't assume you guys really want to see all of that production. And also, side note, there's only so much space on the counter that the camera can actually cover. So anyway, took a long time to do the embeds. We're doing the frosted fur from Brambleberry because they sent me someone else's package several months ago, and this was in it. And I wanted to just soap with it and make it go away. And so I used it for something else. And I ended up really liking it. And so I reordered a whole bunch to make the January soap. So that's awesome. And it does not discolor, which is one of the reasons that it's so awesome. I started this whole thing out with, you want to know what's weird? None of that is the weird part. Here's the weird part. In the amount of time that it took me to go from the pontoon, we're talking about the soap before talking about the soap here. So it's like 2 minutes to my computer to do this. I got 3 wholesale orders in for holiday bars. You guys, it is way too late in the season for holiday soaps to be being ordered. Like, what are you doing? And the thing is, all of my wholesale clients know this. Like, they know this. They all are aware that if you do not have your holiday orders in by October 7th, you're done. There is no way. Because I have so many wholesale accounts, and all of those soaps need to be made, and they need to be cured before the selling begins. And so time is needed. And these wholesale accounts that just emailed me, they not only know this, they've already placed a holiday order. And now they're like, okay, I need more on the fly. And I'm like, soap doesn't super work on the fly. It's not a thing. I mean, you've heard me talk about cure times and how cure times are like bullshit. There isn't like a set whatever, but there's still some time. Just because it's not a set time doesn't mean there's no time. I can't just make this today and okay, yeah, sell it tomorrow. The hell are these people thinking? They're not thinking is the point. I don't know. Will I still do it? Yeah, of course I'll still do it. It's a whole thing. But as far as, enough time for all of the whatever, I don't know. And because there is still enough time between now and because this can be their end of season order, right? So this can be the stuff that gets filmed or gets sold, mid-December. And that totally works given the timing that we have right now. I can get behind that. But in order for me to even fill these on the fly, that means I'm completely disrupting the rest of my soap schedule for no good reason, except they didn't prepare. So that's one of the downsides of wholesale accounts, I think, is that because it's going to throw off all of my soaping, and there will likely be a couple more nights of, no sleep and just 24 hours straight of making the soap and doing the things than I wanted this season. But, whatever. 'Tis the damn season, and this is just what we do. What we are doing with this pour, with a batter that's already looking green, it's very interesting that Frosted Furs does not discolor, has not done so with any of the soaps I've used. I don't remember having ever used Aphrodite on its own in anything, I don't think. But the colorant itself says it's cold process soap stable, and generally what that means with Mad Micas is, well, that means it's going to be the color of the mica when it's all cured out. So I'm not freaking out about this and worrying, but do you remember last year? Was it during 10 Days of Thanks? I'm pretty sure it was. Last year, one of the videos during 10 Days of Thanks, I was doing this crescent moon thing that I wanted to do sort of like this with the gradient. Also, side note, if I'm using gradient right with this particular thing, I'm Started with a darker color. I'm lightening it up as I go. That's a gradient, right? Anyway, I was doing a gradient from dark to light with blue and then putting a little moon at the top. And that particular soap, as I was pouring it, looked just like this. It was green. It was green, green, green. Oh, you're not even near the camera. That was a fun attempt though. Good job. Good job, past me. Filming in the new space is really weird. And like figuring out the new angles and all the I'll figure it out. Whatever. Anyway, that particular pour I was flying blind with. And it was this color. It was green. Just various shades of mint green throughout the whole pour. And ultimately after cure, it went blue. Or after saponification, it went blue. And so it was all fine. Like it ultimately turned into the color that I wanted. But as I said in that video, because I was using, I don't know who I was using. Was that one of the Lone Star videos? Do you guys remember those videos? Do you remember how big mad we were at Lone Star just across the board? We're like, F all of this. There was just none fun to be had with any of those scents. I think it might have been Lone Star. I don't know. Sorry if I'm misremembering that. But anyway, during the whole pour, because it's the holiday season and all of your sales and your soaping and everything is ramped up to just Mach 10 or whatever a big Mach is. And it was very stressful. As I'm pouring this, I'm like, oh no. Especially since I was putting a moon in it, right? Like it kind of has to go blue. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. With this particular one, since I'm putting these little tree branch things in, even if it stays green, it will still work, but it's still stressful. You're making your holiday soaps and oh no, this needs to work. And for that particular one, again, flying blind, everything was green, but after saponification, everything went blue. So there was a happy ending to all of that. And I'm going to assume that with a good gel and a C-pop, this is going to settle into a blue as well. And so for that reason, I was not freaking out about this pour at all. Like at all. There was none concern throughout any of this. And also the scent, frosted fir, it's delightful. It smells like a tree. That's great. But like a nice tree, there's a little bit of sweetness to it. It's a very cool scent. Just put a pin in that for your next year's soap because it's too late to do anything with it now. But frosted fir from Brambleberry, very good holiday scent for sure. That's just something that you could definitely put in any winter bar. So, I mean, I guess to that, it's still early in the season. Make it for your January bar. Go pick it up. But yeah, I don't know. The assumption is this is going to go green at this point. Past me is thinking that as I am pouring this. Because I remember the thing that I dealt with, last year during this time. And the gremlins always find their way into the soap shop, right? And they usually find their way into the soap shop more frequently during the holiday season when there's big stressors. And so I didn't let this stress me out at all as I was pouring it. I trusted the process. I continued on with the pour. That was past me. Future me, like me, now me, that made these soaps, a long time ago so they could be cured in order to do this. I know the end of this. I know how this story ends. And while I think it's a good idea to not stress out about your soaps while you're making your soaps, because that will just lead to a bigger potential of, making a mistake or getting hurt or something, even though getting hurt in soap is actually kind of hard to do. Making a mistake for sure. If you're all keyed up and yeah, it's not a good idea. Don't ever soap stressed out. But so that was good for past me. But again, future me, the me that's here now, present me. This is some weird inception shit. It always is though for all of these videos. For me personally, you probably don't feel that, but I'm watching past me and talking about past me and current time. And then anyway, a lot of me's going on. Almost lost my camera. Love that for me. Huh. I know how this story ends. And while it's not a good idea for me to have been stressed out during all of this, while it's always a good idea to trust the process and just enjoy what you're making, future me is looking at past me right now going, honey, the thing that you were thinking in your head about how this is going to go blue, you're wrong. It's not going to go blue. Look at that. Cold process soap stable. Cool. Let's go check out this cut, shall we? Okay. On to this cut. Top is beautiful. Love the glycerin. Oh. Yeah. I mean, the gradient worked. I'm going to continue to go with gradient. I really do think that's the right name this time. I'm proud of me. Seriously, though, if I got it wrong, tell me in the comments. Because I should not be proud of me if I'm still an idiot and don't know the difference between ombre and gradient. But you guys, it stayed green. It stayed green. Do you see all those different colors of green there? Isn't it beautiful? And it is beautiful. Like, do that. That is a very lovely, delicate bar of soap. You've got the very actual color of what it's supposed to be on the bottom. And then it goes lighter. And then you have the beautiful white at the top. Some cool little like sticks and twigs and branches and acorns or pine cones or something up top. It works. It does in fact work. This bar is scented like a tree. And you know, trees are green. Usually. So it works. But I used a blue mica. And I also showed you my design. Blue. I wanted a blue gradient. I wanted an icy blue, winter cold gradient. I'm almost positive that one's right, you guys. I'm saying it right this time, for once, in the 900,000 times that I have used the word. But I was not going for green. I was going for blue. And yeah, I really do think gradient is right. Anyway, I was going for blue. This ultimately works out. It still works out. It's like I've said multiple times before, when you are soaping and you don't get the intended effect that you wanted, well, nobody needs to know that. Nobody needs to know that. You don't need to put it out there and say, oh, I totally screwed this up because it was supposed to go blue and it's green. You don't need to call that out. You just present this green bar and go, hey, it smells like a tree. It's cold. It's January. Hooray. And you own that because that's still a beautiful bar of soap. All of it is still lovely. And you know, I'm showing you on the YouTube thing because I show you all of the things. Like, that's whatever. But my point is, you don't need to do that in your life. You don't. This is still lovely. And if it did not work out according to what you had in your mind, that's okay. It's still a lovely, gorgeous bar of soap, right? Still fits the theme. It's still awesome. Just have to figure out where I'm going to get blue in because I really wanted that icy blue in the 12 months of soap. So I might need to do some other things with some other bars. But it is gorgeous. That is day 152, the January soap in the 12 months of soap set. Yeah, so first bar out of the gate, green. Not what I wanted. But to that, it still also works out as January. It still also works out because this scent is a tree scent. It's green. And so both things, super awesome. It's not the blue that I wanted, so I'm going to have to find a place to put that blue elsewhere in the line because I really did want in the winter bars that to be represented. So it's kind of back to the drawing board to make sure that that gets included somewhere. But for now, that is the January bar. And I think even though it discolored weirdly, I don't understand why, it's still a good start to the soap series. So if you are interested in the soap series, one, like, follow, subscribe, because for 10 days of thanks, one of those days I'm giving away 10 of these 12 packs. So many numbers. B, if you're not one of the lucky ones to pick one up on 10 days of thanks, you can always pick them up at soapandclay.com when I am done with the entire series. 12 bars, it's going to be a minute. But for now, you can go check out other stuff that's on the website. That's cool. For those of you who are my sudsers, hello. What do you think of the January bar so far? I mean, the line so far, you only have January with which to go off of. My whole point with all of this, my goal with this entire line is to keep things kind of simple and muted and just continue focusing on this beauty and simplicity that I've been really into in the fourth quarter of 2021. Because we've done a lot of over-the-top stuff for the first 3 quarters. So let me know how you like it. I'm out of here for today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.